If you're a business owner or entrepreneur, why can't it take 2 to 3 years to get to your optimal business exit once you decide to sell? And why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan, coming to you live from Haleiwa, Oahu on a perfect day to talk mergers and acquisitions and a perfect day to talk to you. All right, so there's a couple of things that you need to know, specifically five reasons why it may take up to 2 to 3 years for you to get your business to prepare to sell. Most companies are not professionally run, and that's not a knock against entrepreneur or a business owner. It's just most companies have never had professional management. And so when you start thinking in terms of large organizations, a lot of these items are already in place. There's people running them. And so when a company comes or an investor comes to you and says, hey, I want to acquire your company, they're purchasing the history. Right? They're looking to the future and saying, based upon the history, this is what it can do, or based upon the history, this is what we think we can do. So the first pillar number one, where people struggle most of the time is going to be in accounting and legal, right? Accounting and legal, the two professions that everybody would love to talk about. And accounting, like, you want to make sure you have clean books. You want to make sure that they abide by all the principles and that everything is in place, so that, like, when an investor comes in and says, hey, let me look at the books, you got your balance sheet, you got your profit and loss, you've got everything needed to go, if I buy this company, I have the history. On this list is legal. Are the contracts valid? Is the corporation, the LLC, the sole proprietorship, the way the business is structured, all taken care of the right way? Are all the agreements with the vendors done right? So this is a big pillar, and that's why it's number one. Number two, management. Can you leave for an extended period of time? Can you leave for a week? Okay, that's nice. Can you leave for a month? That's better. Could you leave for 3 or 4 months? That's preferred. And the reason this is brought up is because, hey, look, when the company sells and you have the ability to take the keys and say, here you go, it's proof that the company is running the right way. I was involved with an organization that sold 3 months ago, and short of moving everything out of the office, it was, here you go. Let's just, the business is running without the owner. And that is desired by private equity, by private investors, by investor groups, because the management can run things and they don't need all the direction. And it takes time to get somebody trained unless you have somebody, or you hire somebody, you acqui-hire somebody to fit that role. Now, here's the thing. If you want help in selling your business to prepare for that 2 to 3 year exit, and you're doing at least $2 million a year in revenue with a 10% profit margin, you should absolutely call the Deal Hotline, 888-DEAL-919, 888-DEAL-919, and a member of my team will get back to you. No deal is too big. Number three, marketing flywheels, right? So you want to be able to prove that your marketing works. In a campaign right now, as of today, can take about 30 days to optimize to 90 days to optimize to say, hey, it's running right. And then about 6 months for it to be like, this thing is firing correctly. Now, if you can get a couple of those going and your marketing for the most part is running on autopilot, but you still have somebody going in there and making minor tweaks or fixes or big tweaks and big fixes, what can happen is, once again, investor, private equity, whoever's coming in, like, look at the history. We got 10 different marketing flywheels where the leads are coming in from. We're not just reliant upon one source. You know, we're not relying on social media. We're not relying on one of the big tech companies to buy leads from. You know, we might have some referral partners or joint venture partners. All of these things come into account. And once again, this is what private equity investors and other companies want to look for. 4, a proven sales team and a proven track record. And what you're going to find too is a lot of times in smaller businesses, owners are the sales managers, and there's nothing wrong with that up until the point where you want to go to sell and they're like, well, now we're going to have to find somebody to replace you. You know, if you have all the standard operating procedures and the sales process and everything ready to go, you're probably okay. And then number 5 is your readiness. You know, you may have spent 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years putting this business together, and you have an emotional attachment to it. And there is a point where you start putting, like, the accounting, the management, the marketing, the sales, and you start putting all this stuff together. What ends up happening for you is there's the point where you're like, okay, I'm ready to go. Now, this is what my team specializes in. Once again, if you would like to get some help, reach out to my team, 888-DEAL-919, and a member of my staff will get back to you. No deal's too big. We'll see you soon. Aloha and mahalo.